Hey everybody, it's Tyler over at the Spider Shop. Just want to let you know, if you're unfamiliar with us, we just started here in April. We've got a huge selection and we price our spiders competitively. So we'd really be glad to have your business, and if you have any questions, please reach out. Please get a hold of us. You know, we are very enthusiastic about this hobby. We love keeping and collecting and breeding and all that sort of thing. So yeah. Alright, so welcome back. Yeah, so today I'm going to be pulling a Nhandu Chromatus sac, and so just figured that I might take the chance to show you all how that process works for me, and maybe how I care for the sac as it's incubating. So I'm going to show you guys how I construct this little, I don't even know what we call this, but it's just kind of like a container, I guess, for the developing eggs. Hopefully we're going to have eggs with legs, which is the first stage after eggs, right? But yeah, so what we have here is simply a 32-ounce deli, a 24-ounce deli, and then I've got this nylon sock. And so I buy the nylon socks off Amazon, or those disposable, try-on socks in case you're barefoot in a shoe store or whatever, right? Yeah, I think 150 of them for like $8 on Amazon, so it works a lot better than just buying nylon. And so this smaller deli here has the hole cut out in the bottom. And so I wrap the nylon around the smaller deli and place it there in the 32 ounce, and now the 32 ounce has some water there in the bottom. And the purpose of this construction here, this container, is to, the developing sac or eggs, they need to have humidity. So when we place them over the water like this, the water naturally evaporates, or fills like the container with humidity. And so the hole in the bottom of the cup and the nylon allows it to breathe and go up and surround the eggs. And then I use a coffee filter too in here, which is also breathable, but just gives the eggs a little bit more support and keeps them all together. And so also makes it easier to kind of take them out if you ever have to maybe like pick out bad eggs or whatever. So yeah, so here's what I would use to house the eggs. Now I also use a ventilated lid. And there's a little bit more to this that I'll show you here after we pull the sac and put the sac in the container. So something else I should share with you is that whenever I'm preparing to take a sac, there's a few tools or items that I'll need. Definitely a pair of tongs or big tweezers like this. I'm also anticipating that the mom will put up a little bit of a fight, so maybe a big paintbrush to kind of wrestle the sac away from her. And then of course also want a clean plate so that I can put the sac on and work over, as well as a pair of scissors to maybe cut the sac open. So that's how I prepare for pulling a sac, and we can pull out the spider and get to pulling the sac. So yeah, if you're wondering where I get my deli and kind of other supplies, TSK Supplies out of Utah, they got great prices. I found one time I ordered from somewhere else, and TSK was printed on the lid, so it's like, why am I buying from the middleman? Let's go straight to the source, So found TSK Supply online, and I would highly recommend. So yeah, the female here, the Nhandu, I put her in a cardboard box like this on my shelf just to kind of give her some more security and keep her maybe more in the dark while I'm in here and working with the lights on. And yeah, sometimes there's the threat of maybe the mom eating the sac. So if we can do anything to keep her secure or help her feel more safe, I think there's less of a chance that she'll eat the sac. That's kind of what I understand anyways. So I also want to take the time to shout out Kersey out of Oregon, who sent me the mature male. This Chromatus was a pain to get to pair. They're notorious for eating males, and so I had one, a male of my own previously, but she ended up eating him pretty quickly. and then when I got Kersey's male, I think it was like 9 or 10 times that I introduced them. I shark tanked, you know, so that means that I put the male in a small deli with holes, and then put that inside the female's enclosure, and that's just to get them acquainted, I guess, to get them familiar with being around each other, so that they notice each other's presence. Spiders kind of, I understand there's like some pheromones or chemicals in the air, you know, that they can sense each other's presence. And that's been a recommendation from experienced breeders, is the shark tanking. But so yeah, finally, you know, they did the thing. They did the deal, you know. And it was just that one time that that the male appeared to get insertions, and I then sent the male, you know, on his way. But yeah, so here's our girl. I'll bring the camera over so you can see a little bit closer. Yeah, so she's been sitting in this corner of the enclosure just about the whole time, or every time I've checked, she's sitting just about there. Chromatus are known for pretty big sacs, and it doesn't look really much bigger than the size of maybe a smashed golf ball or something, but yeah, so we will attempt to get it from her. She's also a pretty bad hair kicker. Let's see how this goes here. I'm just going to try to grab an edge of the sac and maybe she's got her claws, her tarsal claws dug into the sac. So there we go. So let's see if I can get the zoom. Doesn't quite want to focus on that sac. I'm going to put it on the plate over here. And so you'll notice that she is kind of panicking a bit, which seems to be normal. It's always kind of sad to take the sac from the mother. Spend a lot of time, effort, and energy, you know, developing the eggs and laying the sac and caring for the sac, and here we are ripping it right from her. So we'll just, you know, make sure we do what we can to take good care of the babies for her. So here is the sac, and you can see it's covered in probably some dirt, and also I believe they cover the sac with urticating hairs, which is like the itchy barbs that they use for self-defense. Guess that helps protect the babies. Alright, so yeah, so we can cut into this sac. It does feel pretty good. It feels kind of like a bean bag. I can feel the stuff rolling around inside, which is a good sign. It's not good when it's really hard. So I'm optimistic so far. Not every egg sac works out, that's for sure. And this at times can be the make or break it moment as you're cutting open the sac and seeing what's inside. Definitely not eggs with legs. It's only day 25, which can be early for a terrestrial. Some people leave them 40 days or so. Let's see if we can zoom in so you guys can see that. Yeah, so no eggs with legs, still at the eggs stage. From there I would pour them out onto a coffee filter. Oh yeah, it's not the biggest sac I've seen, but they're pretty small eggs, so there's definitely hundreds in here. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of eggs. Looks like we got just about all of them. I'll switch over to the macro here so you guys can get a good view of these eggs. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure how to feel about these eggs. There's kind of a little bit of a white powdery substance on them, and they seem to be kind of dry. But that doesn't mean that they are not good. You know, so I'm still going to be optimistic. Again, maybe it's just a couple days early. Would really like to see eggs with legs, which shows that there's development. But yeah, so I'll put the coffee filter into the smaller deli and throw the lid on, and then I'll show you guys what I do from there. Is so I've got a large tub here, which also has water on the bottom. You've got water coming up from the deli, and you also got water outside coming maybe down into the deli. So I'll just place this in here. This doesn't have much ventilation. There's no drilled holes in it, but there is a thermostat attached, and so I keep the lid on, and I also keep a heat mat on top, which pretty much it's 78 degrees in here already. This is kind of just a backup in case for whatever reason the heater maybe goes out, right? I think the other spiders can manage to deal with some lower temperatures, but definitely it needs to be sensitive to the lower temperature. So it's set for 78 also, I think, and so the thermostat reads that it's dropping. It'll kick on the heat mat and keep this tub warm for us. So from there we just kind of wait and maybe monitor the progress, and hopefully we've got you know, maybe 500 Nhandu Chromatus slings that'll be ready in a couple months or so. Okay. Yeah, so thanks for checking us out today, and maybe we'll have some more videos here soon. Figure it doesn't take that much work to set up a couple cameras and hit record, you know, while doing things in here. But appreciate your interest, and yeah, we'll see you. Thanks.